What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology Retold action, spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Ra. His name is Magic. Alright, he's spotted today in the red color, playing as Gaia. His name is Recon. We've got ourselves an absolutely star-studded match for you in this one. Gaia versus Ra on the map. Giza, Magic, and Recon both performing insanely well in the recent S-tier Wrath of the Gods tournament. They're playing a game now for us on the ranked ladder here. I'm sure fireworks will be occurring. Over onto this side, we've got ourselves that Head of Orpheus relic plus 8 line of sight. Over here, we've got ourselves that Demeter's Throne here. You're going to be making those storehouse type buildings much cheaper, as well as houses, or at least faster to build for Egyptians. Dwarven Calipers over here going to be reducing that food, wood, gold cost of siege and all the good stuff, and then Trojan Gate hinge. So nothing absolutely huge on this map in terms of relics, but we might see some of them having some impact. You know, that Trojan Gate hinge here, you know, getting 20% extra HP on a wall, that can be the difference between being able to defend a raid or not. So it's probably worth picking it up, especially if you're the defender in these sorts of games like Ra would be. Gaia less so, but, you know, Ra definitely someone who's going to be wanting to throw some walls down at some point. Though the map is Giza and walls are going to be a little bit more challenging. Though on this position here, seeing a gold mine on this spot with the, like, forest here, town center, you could wall off over here, grab this town center, and you'd be in a really good position. The big question is, though, will you ever actually spot that or not? As we do see a cheeky little magic villager being very cheeky here. You can animation cancel this to get this damage done a little bit faster, though, you know, it's a lot of work to do that. The way to animation cancel is as soon as you see that HP bar going down, then you move it, as we will see another Oracle coming over here in an attempt to body block. We'll see if this is actually going to be able to do anything. Oh, no. It does do something. The villager decides to be its own its own unit there, trying to chase this Oracle all the way back down. Not killing off this Oracle does mean this villager has got no value. He has denied scouting for a little bit, but no value on that one. If he kills the Oracle, obviously 100 resources is very worth it. 100 seconds worth of idle time to pick off an Oracle is about an equal trade. That was definitely not an equal trade there, as Recon can just leave his Oracle in his main base now. Very safe, tucked in. Beautiful economic guild, beautiful mana, great Gaia tree blocking here. But, you know, Magic can come in with some Wadjets or stuff, something like that, and harass this. So that can be a very strong way to play. I'm very interested in how Recon's going to be dealing with what Magic's going to be throwing at him, as I'm going to have to flip this thing over here as well. The players are very much on different sides of the map. But, you know, will Magic go for Wadjets here and a classical fight, or is he going to go for something more like a town center play here? He's got 2 villagers on wood already, so doesn't really indicate a hard classical fight, but his gold income, if he's only 7 villagers on gold, I think it's going to be pushing it for an immediate town center, so he might be going for some sort of delayed town center sort of idea here. And if that's the case, he's probably wanting to drop another monument some point soon, as he pulls 1 villager off gold there, moves it over onto wood. There's the monument. So it's probably going to be a classical fight into a town center of some sort here for Magic. Whereas Recon, on the other side of the map, you can see he's already got his wood, looking like he's going up for that gold as well. Already has some villagers prepared to drop down onto this town center immediately. The Rhino is has a little bit of its own mind about where it wants to be. It looks like normally those Rhinos are right next to the town centers, but it's kind of walking off into the distance, so to speak, as Recon, he's already got an Oracle on this spot, just checking this town center out. If there's a town center, though, for Magic to grab, it's definitely going to be this one, nice and forward here, but he hasn't scouted that out. He doesn't really know which town center is going to be good for him as he hits that second age. He's going to be dropping a barracks, dropping 2 barracks. Is this empowered? I think Magic's just ever so slightly misplaced his barracks over here. You want to get every single one of your buildings inside of this inside of this thing here. If he just moved it back ever so slightly so that the corner hits the edge of this monument, it wouldn't matter. But anyways, we're going to start seeing some units coming out. The town center is on the way. 30 seconds remaining on this one. Actually, picking off these hero citizens can be quite challenging when you've got the Caladria as the Wadjet. Going to slowly start trying to poke away at this exposed gold mine on the front, getting damage done onto a hero citizen. Not going to be able to do a whole lot to that, but, you know, magic here, completely missing the town center going up. And he's not going to be able to deny it at this point. Even with the shifting sands and villages at this point, it's too late. Too little, too late. And there's a town center up for Recon, as Magic will have to work out what to do next. We've got that watchtowers through. Magic going to be attempting to get just a little bit of damage done onto this tower here. Now, from this, like, sort of distance here, the town center can't hit it. But from around about the side of the tower, it can. So you have to be a little bit careful about where your, there you go, where your spearmen are. And there we go, a spearman getting taken down very, very quickly here. As the Wadjet's attempting to take down a villager onto this side here. The Caladria there can heal this one back up, but is it going to? Yes, it will. Carnivora is down to help protect this position. Those Wadjets will finish this off so obscenely quickly that Magic will have to retreat back. Is he going to keep it alive with the priest? Yes, he does. And then he can heal that all the way back up, clean that Carnivora up, and then be in a good spot. We are now starting to see some military barracks coming through here, as Magic can actually harass these citizens from across this forest here if he wants to. He's moving in with those. There are still those two Caladria there to make life a little bit challenging to actually take out the citizen, but getting that damage down is going to be huge. A couple of farms actually going to be going down here as the villagers need to move over onto the herdables here, getting pushed off of these barriers as well. There's a lot of really good damage being done here by Magic. Denying these resources in the home base can be very, very difficult to deal with. He will attempt to take out this watchtower. Not going to be having access to that Carnivora for the time being here. Though he does have himself a lot of favor income with 5 oracles out to produce some Caladria or Hero Murmillo or whatever. But, you know, the thing about Gaia, which is really strong, is you get access to that irrigation in the classical age, which means these farms, they can really start cooking. I mean, at the moment, 1.15 food a second, that's not that much. But you get the irrigation, it starts looking very, very close to the 1.49 food per second that he's getting from those herdables for the time being here. Now, one thing that I think Magic is kind of missing right now is simply just getting set up with line of sight. That's the advantage of these sorts of aggressive plays. The big advantage is you just get a couple of priests out onto the map, and all of a sudden you can see this gold mine, you can see this gold mine, you can see this gold mine. But at the moment, Magic only can see really one gold mine on the map. Now, Recon's not taking advantage of this just yet, but there's definitely going to be an opportunity for him to sneak even past this gold mine and maybe up onto this position here to get some gold situation going. We see a mana getting thrown up over onto this side. It's Magic. He is on 2 town centers. He does still have the presence on the map here. Almost going to be able to snipe down one of those oracles there as it's getting pushed back. But with the Carnivora, he will be able to time that, get it back up to full HP. No snipes there for the Wadjets. And I guess this is the counter, so to speak, to the Wadjet is healing. Now, not every civilization has got access to this level of healing, but it's a very, very nice counter here that Recon has found in this game, just kind of being able to heal all of that stuff up. We see a marker coming up here. Recon can trade for a little bit if he so chooses. But yeah, these Wadjets can just sit outside this gold mine, just continue to put pressure on. An obelisk getting thrown down here so he can just see whenever Recon moves back onto this one would be a really, really strong way to play. But at the moment, Recon is just pumping out these Murmillo heroes for the time being, and he is about to be having an army that looks very, very scary for what Magic's making. Magic isn't making any axemen at the moment. The Oracle heroes, they're going to be pushing out onto this spot here, and without that line of sight, Magic's going to get caught out of position and potentially lose all of these Wadjets. He's only got the 2 axemen at the moment, which is just not going to be enough here. As a spearman over onto this side, just going to be attempting to push off of that gold mine at the top there. So he does manage to find that, not getting caught out of position at all there. As the Wadjets and the Axemen now starting to move around onto this spot. I think Recon is starting to look like he can definitely take this fight. He was seeing Segment coming through, but Recon's still playing very, very safe here. As the Spearman coming back up onto this position here, the Gold Villager grabbing the gold, but gets sent backing and will garrison away. But this mana will go down, and Recon here, like we've been saying, I think he can take this fight, but he definitely wants to be catching Magic out here. And with those Caladria coming in to just pacify every one of those Wadjets here, he could really push in and just completely clean this. As the army coming in, we've got that Carnivora getting dropped down, and we see a Shifting Sands forced out here as Magic retreats back. He is already in the heroic age. He hasn't been touched in this game, but Recon looks like he is in an insanely good position economically speaking here. He hasn't lost anything. 5 oracles, like we've already talked about, it's going to be a huge help. He's got his farm set up. Does he have himself the upgrade? No, he doesn't have irrigation yet, but I'm sure he's going to be thinking about getting it. Obviously, didn't want to grab it for the fact that it costs gold and didn't want to get into a gold starve situation there. But now he's out onto the map. Definitely can start thinking about getting all those upgrades in. But firstly, it's going to be heroic age. And then he can think about where to go next, as his army could just simply be retreating back. And Magic here, with the fact that he's kind of in such a difficult position here, he's probably going to want to just sit over onto this Migdol stronghold, but he's kind of forced to take a fight on this spot as the hero units just retreating back. Those Caladria here, the healing is absolutely huge. A couple of units pushing over onto this side. However, the Axemen, will they be enough over here? It looks like the answer is no, with this amount of hero Murmillo charging in onto this position here. All of those myth units are going to get cleaned up, and all of a sudden, not only is Recon's economy absolutely stonking at this point, but also his military is cooking up a storm as units charging into the main base. We see the gold mine. There's nothing over there. So where is Magic on the map at the moment? Recon, he sees a gold mine to the bottom of the map. He sees a gold mine to the top of the map. But realistically here, Magic could be anywhere on the map grabbing gold. And can he come and harass this position? Probably. But is it better to just wait a little bit and get a couple more units out? Most likely. Especially now that he's going to be having all of these Murmillo here, forcing out Axemen. You can go into Contarius at the moment or Arcus, and it can be very, very solid. As Poseidon's Secret's going to be coming through. We've also got Dryads on the way as well. This Poseidon's Secret with a whole bunch of barracks getting thrown down. You can just get out so many Contarius at this point. A couple of Chariot Archers out as well with the Camel Riders. They're going to get chased down here. You can't really raid with Chariot Archers unless you have a ridiculous mass of them. If you've got the mass of them, your opponent tries to engage you, you just start kiting away, it's fine. But with just one or two, you're not going to be able to get a whole lot done. The Camel Riders, on the other hand, they can run around and they can get a lot of pressure done just by the virtue of them just running around on the map. But Palace coming down, and with those Caladrias as well, slowing these bad boys down can be very, very useful as well, as we've got that Lance of Stone on the way with all of those very cheap medium Contarius starting to come through. Counter barracks into the main base here as well, with an idea of potentially moving into Catapultes here. Makes a lot of sense. He's already got himself the medium infantry. He can go to heavy infantry very, very shortly as well. But Magic has just managed to distract for the time being. He's got himself back into a decent spot, militarily speaking here, but he does have to be worried about a certain god power hitting anytime soon. You can already see 800 food, 300 gold in the bank. Contarius still coming out. Town Center is up, third one there with the Palace as well coming up onto this position. Another Hesperids tree coming through here as Bombo and Ballistics about to come in. Now, one thing that Magic hasn't used just yet, which will boost his economy into the stratosphere, is that rain. But how many farms is he going to get before he clicks it? And will he ever go up for this next town center? Because he's just so far behind on economy at this point. You can already see, take a look at these armory upgrades as well versus Magic's on the other side. I don't think Magic will have any at the moment. Well, he does actually have some decent ones here, but maybe he's missing on the heavy upgrades, which is why he's managed to afford those. But nonetheless, looking to push through. We've got that Bone Bow just about to come in. Chariot Archers yet again moving forward here. He's got to be so careful with how he's going to be moving out onto the map here, with Recon just massing up a storm. He's ready to push forward. He's going to be getting himself the Carpenters, Bronze Shields. He decides not to push over onto this side. Town Center coming up onto this position here. Magic does spot this as a couple of Chariot Archers moving around here, but grab a Town Center and pressure somewhere else always is going to be making sense as he moves onto this position here. Contarius, Murmillo starting to charge in. He does have another Carnivora. He's clicked up with the pre-Q through Atlas here, so if this fight goes really, really well, Recon will be able to get that one in very quickly, as the Contarius managed to charge in over onto the Chariot Archers, taking those out. The Murmillo hero is still getting a huge amount of advantage in onto this one, as the Caladri on the back there still managing to get those heals off, and Magic needs to pull back into his main base. He does have that Citadel Center here, very, very useful, and while this is all going on, he's managed to afford the Atlas to come through onto this position. Those priests here need to target down the Dryads to get those taken out, but differential in population is absolutely huge. The Town Center is getting a huge amount of damage done, though. This thing is an absolute storm of damage here at 76.2 pierce damage per second at the moment. As Recon overstays his welcome ever so slightly, but he has managed to clean up the entirety of Magic's army here. There's a Spearman over onto this side trying to just get what they can get done. But Recon is in an overwhelmingly advantageous position. Grabs his 4th Town Center. Has Atlas coming in. Has the armory upgrades coming through. The Magic now coming over here in an attempt to try and take out those Contarius. But he still just does not have the army numbers just yet. And not only that, the armory upgrades are coming through in a big way. So even if he does have the numbers, his units aren't going to be trading all too well. We see a couple of Scarabs coming in onto this position, potentially to take out the Town Center over on the other side here. Villagers on this position are going to be getting taken down as well, as the Priest Spearman shenanigans, I mean, that's all they're going to be able to do, just force these units back. And as soon as Atlas pops, I mean, Magic, he's not going to lose a whole bunch of units because he doesn't have a whole bunch of units, but he will lose exactly what he's got here, as a whole bunch of Contarius heroes now starting to get converted. These things do cost a fairly large amount of resources. They're 89 food, 59 gold. So it's not cheap, but they will pack a punch, especially when he's going to be wanting to deny that Scarab, as there's the Mythic Age coming through. There's the big army of Recon charging in onto this gold mine, pushing off of this one. We even see this gold mine's already expired, so Magic has got no gold income. Wait, yes, he does. Where is he on the map for gold? Oh, he's coming into the middle one here. He's got only this one, and he says that's going to be it here. Not able to survive any longer in this game, as Recon is just so obscenely far in front in this position, and Magic just couldn't make it happen. The defense was just too strong, in a word. Like, forward gold mine, exposed chickens, exposed berries, and Recon's just able to get so many goats that he can just hold and survive here. Part of me feels like Magic going for this early pressure and getting nothing done and then going for the town center was a mistake. And I think if we take a quick look at the post game, you'll see exactly why that's a mistake, with the resources just going absolutely out of control for Recon in this one. Civilian units as well are out of control. And the fact that you grab that town center, not only does it cost 550 resources as Egyptian, but it also costs Pharaoh or Priest in power time, probably Priest in power time here for Ra, so not the biggest of deals, but it costs the villager building time as well. So you're looking at somewhere in the vicinity of 60 seconds or 30 seconds for 5 to 8 villages there of resources, which can be somewhere in the vicinity of like 300 resources. So now you're looking at 800 to 900 resources to build the town center. And then you also have to start training villagers out of it. Before you know it, it takes around about 5 minutes to pay it off, and your opponent has now got everything that they want, plus the stronger economy. Now, I have a feeling if Magic just kind of positioned himself over on this spot, continued to harass this gold mine, stayed one town center, made spearmen, made axemen as well, and with those obelisks, he would have been able to scout that all of those Mamillos were coming and actually be prepared to counter them. Put the obelisks around the map, over here, over here, over here, and then all of a sudden, sure, Recon's economy is going to be strong. Sure, it may be a little bit risky, but if you've got all the line of sight, there's no risks. You just know what's happening, and you can just make the correct call and find the win. And I would be interested to see if Recon would be able to survive against that sort of pressure. Now, if Recon goes for a fight and you win it hard or something, then you can drop that town center. This is more and more how I'm starting to see Age of Mythology Retold, and it plays very much like every other RTS game. If you win a fight, invest some resources into something that's going to get yourself ahead. You either get a town center, advance to the next age, get some military technologies, depending on the situation, right? Those are your three options if you find an advantage. If you don't find an advantage, you've just got to keep applying pressure until you do. Otherwise, you should just go the economic route and call it a day. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.